Inniswell Ministries International presents Midweek Message. Hi, family. Well, family, Proverbs 9, chapter 9, verse 10 states, Fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One, understanding. So let's talk about wisdom first, and then we'll go with the fear. Wisdom and intelligence are two different things. So intelligence is a man-made construct based on you learning man's ways, and man has a man-made measurement for this. That's intelligence, right? Wisdom is God-given. Wisdom comes out of, to say it easily, learning your lessons. Wisdom is different. So I'm going to give you an example of this. My grandfather didn't go past the 8th grade. Things were different back then, and people worked. Young men had to work. And so to help support the family and then to support themselves. So my grandfather was out working. What's 8th grade? 14? He was out there working. So, but my grandfather was a wise man. And my grandfather was a janitor as I grew up. And he worked at the high school and he worked at the post office. So he had like state job and a federal job. He had a pension and he had medical benefits. My grandfather's pension, Social Security, and medical benefits kept my grandmother in good shape until she left this earth. He took care of her all throughout their lives, and after he died, he was still taking care of her. He was a leader in the community. Men would just come and stop and speak with my grandfather. And it wasn't a race thing, black men, white men. My grandfather was a leader in the church. He was a deacon. And he was a leader in our family. My aunt and my mom were both divorcees, and he was de facto father for 5 of his 9 grandchildren. And I got to spend time with him, and I got some of that wisdom too. He was special. So wisdom can't be measured or quantified like intelligence. And not that he didn't respect education. He got 3 of his 4 children through college. It just wasn't, it wasn't for him. Like, he didn't have the opportunities. He made sure his kids did, though. He was awesome. So that's wisdom. But it's the fear. We don't have that fear of God anymore. We don't have that respect and honor and just awe of him. We have this idealized version of teddy bear Jesus who's going to bring us a warm blankie and take us to heaven in the rapture. And that's just not who he is. Jesus said, I and my Father are one. If you see me, you see my Father. So Jesus is saying, like, Old Testament God, that's me too. Like, I'm with that. I'm that Old Testament too. I can be forgiving. I can love you. But that discipline from Old Testament God, oh yeah, that's there too. So I understand why you don't fear him. I kind of get it, right? Lucifer and his angels, Lucifer and the angel, like about 200 angels, were in heaven with God, with him. And they messed up in their arrogance and fell. They got booted out of heaven. Adam and Eve had the presence of God with them. And they messed up and got booted out. The children of Israel had God with them. He was a pillar of smoke by day and a fire at night. His presence was with them, and they still messed up. Family, read your Old Testament. Read your Old Testament. You need that fear back. You need that awe. Not even fear, it's the awe. The awe-inspiring of the Old Testament. You need to read that because you need to remember who he is. Yes, he loves you. But like a good father that is firm, a good firm father, he doesn't play your stuff. Listen, if we deliberately continue to sin after receiving the knowledge of the truth, which is Jesus Christ, there is no sacrifice for sin left. If you continue to sin, that sacrifice that Jesus made, it can't help you because you've proven yourself unrepentant. You repent with your lips, but not with your heart. The fear of God. You think, okay, do you know why Sodom and Gomorrah fell? This is going to be my last thing. Do you know why they fell? I know what we think is why they fell, but this is why they fell. They were destroyed because of pride, gluttony, slothfulness. They didn't help the poor and needy. I call that greed. Haughtiness, and they committed abomination in God's face. And so that's us. And we're doing it right in his house. And we have no fear. Y'all better get to reading your word. Y'all better stop playing with God. Join us again next time when In His Will Ministries International presents Midweek Message. Until then, bye.